that I said, if you want to get married, you just have to endure that all the men are the same everywhere. And then in this, you have made a personal preference. You have made that your preference, or you have made that choice. So the moment you sit down and you look at this, then you know, and you're not happy, you're not getting what you think you want to get, then it means you need a change. Or there is something they call situational satisfaction. If you are not satisfied with your circumstance, with your existing situation, what you dreamt of, your goal is not what you're seeing physically, I think you need a change. That is why you may need a change. You need to just get up and not just be comfortable with your pain. Everybody wants a good life. The ladies want a positive life. Everybody wants to be happy. But if you're not happy and you're not attaining the heights that you want to attain, that your previous dreams, your goals, your aspirations that you think, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to be this. When I get married, I'm going to, my Prince Charming is going to do this to me, is going to do that to me. And you see that everything just went film into the oblivion. I think it's high time you sit back and say, no, I am not satisfied with with this. You need to have that understanding that it is time to get a change. And another thing I identify, why do we need a change? We've been saying this. So many people have been saying it. There are so many groups where women are supporting women. One of them is the fantastic digital DWS women. And sorry, and really, let me pause again there. There is the founder and the convener. She was introduced, but she wasn't well introduced because Tofumi does not have the understanding of who she is and also even her name. I know that name is very tongue twisted for Tofumi to pronounce. That is Mrs. Abimbola Owuchekoa. Thank you so very much for your support for Human and Renewed Me. And for the ladies on DWS, you are all fantastic. That is a very uh, positive group where women support women. So many words are being said on groups like that, on the media, even if they've been saying all sorts about gender equality, about domestic violence and abuse, and why women should get up, and you are hearing that. Even they are saying, even if they are not true, but you are hearing it. Why don't you sit back and ask yourself the question? All these things, all this information, all this media advance, and people that have been seen that have been probably dying in relationship, women cannot work, women do not have their own liberty, men dominate them, all these things going on. Why don't you ask yourself, could all these things be true? What people have been saying. And you find yourself that it's affecting you, but you're keeping quiet. Because one of the things, one of the um, aim that we want to achieve today is to break all the silence. Why don't you ask yourself that all these things they are talking about, could it be true? If you could be sincere with yourself and tick all your boxes and say, oh, they've been saying this and I can identify with it, they've been saying it, I can relate with it, then you might need a change. Then self help, help yourself. Look at ways where you can help yourself. They say heaven help those who help themselves. Look at ways how you can help yourself. Because the only thing constant in life in change. There is an illustration on the previous slide, which, because I don't want to bore you and I don't want to take your time, but that is one thing that should connote a good change. Look at the setting. Probably, the moderator, if you can help us go back to before I continue on this, to go back to the previous slide. All the things, what is changed? I don't know, probably I'm not there yet or something. No, what is changed? Yeah, it should be the first one, not this. I should have the first one. What is changed? If you look at, there is an image there. I think probably it's not showing to you all. Exactly, that's it. That image, if you look at that, there was a time for people that are born in the 70s, late 60s, 70s, early 80s. I'm sure some of you will identify with this image. There was a time that this is the house of a rich man. It has everything that is there, that he had then as a rich man still exists today. And we use all those things to decorate our house, our homes. It has a television, it has a videos there, it has a radio player, even have flower vases. There is that old analog dialing telephone box that is also there. All those things are there. He had everything. But tell me, if anyone offer you this day, will you take it? Will you collect it from them? That is an archaic and obsolete electronic gadget. But then he was a rich man. I'm sure people would line up on the window to be watching Tales by Moonlight in those days, or to be watching Kokra Dawn. But now, nobody will identify with this because so many change process are taking place. Nobody uses a box television again. What we have now is apart from just flat screen, we have, they call it smart. Whatever you want on your phone, you have it on your television. So that is change. So if you look at all those things and you're seeing that all the archaic things are still happening in your life, that was how to refer us back, then you need self-help. You need to help yourself. The only thing constant in life in change is change. And they always say that heaven also even help those who help themselves. So you need to help yourself. Help yourself and say, what do I need to do? So the beginning of your helping yourself is to seek external help. Look for trusted hands to talk to. Open up. Break that silence. Why do you need a change again? Is limitations. What are those things limiting you? What are those ideologies? What are those factors? What are those stereotypes? What are those religious factors? What are those cultural issues? What are those the social menaces that is going on? We've said a lot of it in the presentation. And I'm not talking about you not having a good relationship. But the truth is, if we want to be sincere with ourselves, women these days, a lot of women are victims of wounds. And who are the perpetrators of these wounds? They are the masculine gender. If you agree with me, then let me just see your thumbs up on the chat box, please. So many women are wounded today. And what are the causes of their wound? From heartbreaks, from so many disappointments, so from so many domestic violence and abuse. And who are the perpetrators? They are men. Who are these men? Who are they supposed to be? They cannot live alone. They need us as women to live their lives. Yet, they want to still dominate and abuse and be so wicked. Those wicked men are just looking for a woman to maltreat, a woman to exercise their dominance. I'm not in doubt of the fact that we are not made to be at the same level or to rub shoulder. What we are saying here is, let us have equal opportunities. Women just want a fair life. We just want fairness. And that is what gender equality is all about. Fairness. Women want fairness. But where you put so many limitations, where you put so many barriers, that is not being fair. Women are not made to become slaves to men. It's women that suffer. Look at Ukraine and Russia, that is happening. So many women are them. The men fled, but they left the women and their children. Nobody is looking after her. Nobody is watching her back. Why should we always be at the receiving end? And don't get me wrong again. That is life. It's a male-dominant world. It's a patriarchal world. However, you need to help yourself. You need to seek help. Since we need to identify that it's a male-dominant world, we cannot change all these things by ourselves. Not that we cannot change everything by ourselves. We cannot stop these things occurring, but don't be a victim. The moment every woman stands up and says, I am not going to be a victim of all these issues, of all these limitations, then little by little, we are reducing the number. And the moment a woman stands up for herself, then it means she has the courage to advocate for for the girl child in her own life. If a woman is able to say, no, it's a male-dominant world, but I refuse to be a victim of these limitations, of their domination, then it means you're standing up for it. You are the agent of change. You are the first person. And the moment you start that, you have a girl child, you are a mother. Then you're going to start educating your girl child not to be not to have a subjective mind, but to be objective, to be able to ask questions. So all those limitations, you need to stand up against it. You need to say, no, I will not be a victim. No, I will not be at the receiving end. That is not who I am made of, or what is what I am made of. So, and finally, why do we need to change? Who is affected by your inactions, by that stagnation, by that pain? Who is affected? You are the number one victim. But remember, as a woman, you have carried so many people along in that journey of pain. You've had children for that man. You also have sister. Your mother might probably not also be happy that, oh, look at my daughter that I thought has got found a good husband, but the man is battering her blue black. So who are the people that are affected? If the people around you are not happy, you are not happy, but you are also keeping it quiet, then it means you need a change. It means you need a change and you need to stand up for yourself. So what needs to change? Quickly, what are the things that needs to change? Self. I said self is you. You and yourself. You first need to change. You need a renewing of mind. You need to identify first. You need to look at yourself and say, how did I get here? What are those things that are not right in my life? What are those things that are not working? Am I achieving what I plan to achieve? So if you look at yourself that, oh, this is me first, and I'm not enjoying what I wanted to enjoy, then that is the first step, because nobody from outside will come and tell you that means you need to change. Even as we are saying it now, we can say this over and over and over again. It will only take who wants to change to change. There might be so many opportunities dropped on your laps, but it will take you to rise up and take up that opportunities. We will do our bit. Beams will do her bit. Everybody will do their bit. But you just need to first identify and get up by yourself. We had a similar conference last year, and I'm happy we had a testimony out of it. So many people attended on this platform for International Women's Day. But I'm delighted to tell you that a lady out of so many thousands of women that attended, that lady contacted me this morning, Beams, for your information. She's a fantastic lady. She's just closer by me here. She was the only one that, against all odds, she took up the opportunity she heard about, because there was a dream in her mind, but she doesn't know the way. And that is the essence of all this platform we have. There was a dream, there was a goal, there was a vision, but she does not know the way. But the moment she heard, wow, this is doable, she ran for it. Less than a year, last month, February, I think, that lady had a passion to do something better for herself. She wants to do something fantastic. She wants to change her career. She wants to change the life of her family. She wants to move forward. What she thought was impossible, she attained it. She wants to move abroad. Hello, she is in the United Kingdom. What has she done? She identified what needs a change in her life herself. And then she changed her mindset, because her mindset initially was, I'm an accountant, I cannot do health. But when she heard, woo, I can do that, she ran for it and she got it. There are opportunities there. You just need the courage to chase it and grab it. So your mindset, what needs to change? Your mindset. What have people told you? What have you heard? All those myths. Oh, it's not possible. There was a girl, a teenage mom, who is now happily married. When she got pregnant at the age of 20, she was told that, oh, you can never find any single man to marry you. You see that you're a divorcee or a widower. A girl of 20. And she had ambition to go to university, but due to lack of funds, she could not go. So she was dropping out from LASU, from that and that, thinking she was following a man that would support her and fund her education. The man ended up being a fraudster. She continued her life. By the time she got pregnant, disappointed the parents, only for admission to come out for her in Unilag. Oh, what a double jeopardy. But she said something to herself. I will correct this. She corrected it. She went to Unilag, she graduated. It was tough, but she came through. And her friends then were telling her she can never get a single man to marry. I tell you, her husband today is a single man without a wife, without a child. So she had the first child for her. They both have two children now, and she's doing very well. She has a good job, and she's happy with herself. So she changed that mindset. She changed that perspective that she thought, oh, would not have. And then she was thinking it was a man that was going to fund her education. By the time she became pregnant, that boyfriend that she was trusting, who was even more mature than her, did not even fund her education, but she worked. The girl said, well, she did a presentation for us last week. She then worked. She was teaching children, doing home tutoring and all that. She worked. She was now then not, she wasn't then depending on any man to fund her education through Unilag. So she changed that mindset that it's not a man that will do it for you. We had a quote on Renewed Me that says, woman can help women. Don't always think it's only man. In the process of you looking for help from a man, that is when they cheat you. That is when they offer what you don't want, what you didn't bargain for. That is when you get it. So change your mindset. Renew your mind. Even the scripture will tell you that renew your mind daily. Forget all those things of the past and change that perspective. You are the only one that can do it. If you don't know which way, ask questions. Seek counsel. Bim is always saying this. Seek counsel. Ask me. I'm always here. You men, we will tell you what to do. We'll advise you better. So what needs to change? Your norms and old ideologies. Like Sawo said, Elemoshu, who are those Elemoshu? That is ladies that are divorced or separated from their husbands. Well, okay. Because they said, oh, I cannot come back home. Somebody was saying it on one group which day that a mother was saying to her daughter, if your marriage is not working, don't come back here to me. For crying out loud. So that kind of person will remain there. So those norms need to change. Those ideologies need to change. We're not conversing that you quit your relationship, that quitting the marriage or divorce is the first thing to do. But for the sake of your safety and for your life, so many in history, so many ladies died in domestic abuse because, oh, what is that old ideology? Oh, for the sake of my children. I don't want my children to suffer. Who says a woman cannot raise her children? I was raised by a mother, by a single mother. And four of us, today we are all graduates. Today we all live abroad. All courtesy of my mother. Bim's mother is full of story. She fought. She stooped to conquer. So women can do it. So change all those ideologies that you cannot survive without a man. So many people will think, oh, that's why they will give you a excuse. It's not easy to be a single mother. Hey, it's not easy. You don't know. He who wears the shoes knows where it pinches. We all know. Nobody said it is easy. But so that's why they said, on easy lies the head that wears a crown. Because the more you keep saying all those things, those ideologies, and those are the ones I call 1,000 reasons. If you don't want to change, you will have 1,001 reasons not to change. You will not accept change, even if they drop that change on your laps. And trust me, it will not come. It's not a bed of roses. It will not come to you like that, like a pack of cards. You need to chase it. You need to work for it. You need to be determined in your heart. So what other thing needs to change? These stereotypes we are talking about, the conventions, the unwritten rules, what society says, what people say. Because of that, you lose your value, you're wounded, you're battered front, right, left, and center. All those things, those stereotypes need to change. You need to have your own objective mind. Ask questions. Don't just be subjected to anything. Social-cultural biases needs to change. The society will tell you, who are you? What are you doing? What is your goal? You are competing. You are competing yourself to somebody that is already made up. You that you have nothing. Who says that? How dare you look at me? That in our culture, this is not done. All those, I tie them, the stereotypes, the social cultural reasons and I'm taking it on. I want to dwell more on this religious understanding. And I want to be frank with you, ladies. So many people, so many women had been kept bound, held bound under wrong doctrines, under religious doctrines, principles wrongly passed. And I'm sure if I ask you now, you will tell me. They will say you submit. What are you submitting to? Nobody is doubting your submission. But before you submit, what does the scripture say? Because the scripture know where our weaknesses are. Those that wrote, they said the Bible was written out of inspiration. They know what our weaknesses. It is easy for a woman to love. So the Bible did not tell a woman to love, but it says a man should love. But the Bible knows that it's probably the submission that will be a challenge. And she was told to submit. So love me, then I will submit. Pamper me and you see how submission will fly. Pamper the lady and you see how things will work out. But you're not showing love. You are not affectionate. You're not romantic. You're not treating her to good things. There is no good words coming out of your man. And you want the dumb in her to submit. And then if she does not submit, when there are issues, she's not listening to me. She's not doing that. That is a major one that has held so women captive. Why do you listen to people that are only talking about their own selfish interests? We all go to church. We all have understanding of the scriptures. Search the scripture by yourself. If you don't understand, like I said, the same way you will seek counsel, ask people that you think understood. Let me give you a classical example. And it's not only pertaining to Christianity, so don't get me wrong. Even in Islam, it happens. They will say, oh, Islam is different. I met a lady here, one of the ladies I work with in the United Kingdom. She's a Muslim lady. And she has also been subjected to all these stereotypes and sociocultural issues in the name of religion. Because they don't know. It's the imam, it's the pastors. They are the ones that will give us the interpretation. And then from generation to generation, all these things have been passed down. And we just believe that is the way it is. Some people will even be in it, but the fear of what will the religious say.
You don't know how many times I've warned you today to sit down.
Jesus, sister Monsurat. Thank you. So because it has been passed from generation to generation, from decade to decade, people do not even understand. And they will just say, oh, I'm a child of a pastor. My mother is a deaconess. How will I do this? Because they don't want to face the shame in the church that this is what their daughter has done. Meanwhile, their sons are doing it. A pianist, an organist, will finish hitting his wife in the morning on a Sunday morning and is coming to church to come and play the organ. And they will say, oh, fantastic, he's doing well. A trumpeter is having fleets of girlfriends outside his marriage. But by the time he wears his suit, oh, they will say, oh, he's blessed, he's anointed. Nobody knew what he's doing. And women kept quiet because they believe that religion says, till there do you part. Fine, it's till there do you part. And I'm not saying you should quit. If you so want it, God help you. But these are the doctrines that has held people bound because it has gone from generation to generation. I was given the example of a lady, the Islamic lady. They keep saying the same thing. And the moment although she has her own objective mind, but they will use the scripture, the Quran, to just shut her down. And because that is the way it has always been, she was accepting. Until one day, one of her children was ill and the baby was admitted in the hospital. So she had to sit by the baby. And it was a long admission. So she sleeps in the hospital with the baby. It's only women that will also do that. Men will not go back and go and help and say, okay, you go in the morning, let me come at the afternoon. After all, she's not working. So in the process of that time, she was bored. There was nothing for her to do. So she went to a holy book. She was reading her Bible, her Quran. And she said during that period, she read the Quran back to back. Boom! Her eyes were opened. She saw what was written in the Quran. the Holy Spirit, let me say it that way, gave her understanding. And she was able to see, oh, really? Is this how the Quran said it? But that is one of the things that people that relate or interpret scripture to us says, do. They will take scripture in isolation and they will just take it. They won't read to you what is before. And because we are not like the Berean church that will also go back and search the scriptures by ourselves, we don't probably go to Bible studies. So we don't even have the evidence to back our actions. The lady saw that and her eyes were opened. Her baby was discharged. She went back home. The moment she was back home, she was saying, so the husband started. And don't get me wrong, it means she had spoken to herself and she self-determined because she was ready for war. She was ready for war because her eyes were opened. So you also need self-confidence. You need to have spoken to yourself that this thing I'm going into it. You might not have money because I know there will probably you will lack financial resources. And that's why you need to work hard. You need to stand up for yourself. You need to be hardworking. So the moment your husband come and say, and they will call the imam and they will quote the picture. This is what the Quran says. She will say, and she will now quote, this is what the Quran says. This is what the Quran says. Lo and behold, this lady, one, they started keeping quiet. How do you know? Is that not the Quran that says it? Is that not the Quran that says it? That was how she gained her liberty. By the time I was seeing this girl, she was wearing her fitted chain, even with her hijab, funkily dressed. She had her own range, customized place. And I was like, wow, babe, you've done it. She said, man, these are the things I wanted to do. And she was working, very educated girl. But religion had put her under bondage. If I want to say things about religion, we will not live here today. Your religion understanding must be apt. Let us, as from this session, either you are Muslim or Christian, know the scripture for yourself. It might not be easy. You may not start it in one day. Do your game plan. Start to do something. And the moment you start doing something, you will see where you will get to. You just heard Tammy said it. She worked herself out of poverty. She went back to school. I know our society might not help way back in Nigeria. It might be very difficult, but at all now, wage, something can happen. A lady said she doesn't mind with her graduate, with a master's degree. She went to mile 12 to go and be doing a lab barrow because she wants her children to live a good life. She went to Idumota to go and be selling things because she wants her children to have a good life. The man was not there for her, but she wants to attain something. So stand up, be resolute, be determined that I must get something done. So what are those things that need to drive this your change? Quickly, what are those things? I've said self. All still has to be with self. Self-discovery. That my Islamic lady discovered herself. She discovered the weapon that is going to help her. Self-discovery. Discover who you are. I know that this is me. This is what I'm. As a young girl, you had a dream. You want to probably be an accountant. You want to be a doctor. You want to be this. You want to be a businesswoman. And all those things perished right to your face. Discover yourself that how did I get here? You want to discover yourself. Then that is the beginning for you. That is the first step. That I can be better than this. There is a purpose for my life. Men and women are made equally. We are meant to serve and complement each other. God has a good agenda for women. And that is why you should know your God. Because the Bible says you will do exploits. Don't start looking for a pity party. I can understand it will not be easy. It wasn't easy for my mother. It was not easy. I'm the first child. I will carry Coca-Cola. We will sell drinks. She sells kerosene. She has big container. She does all sorts. She will wake up as early as possible to go to Apapa Wharf to go and get the Coca-Cola truck. She wasn't waiting for my father. He's left her 4 years into the marriage to go and marry another woman because he was looking for a boy child. My mother has the first two girls. She lost one in the process. It's not palatable. but she was determined. So discover yourself. Know what you want. Identify who you are. Know that no, I am not meant to be this. I am a queen. If you are the one that you are deeply in faith, when Esther, it wasn't even for the fact that she was in the palace. Do you think palace was easy for Esther in the Bible? She met her own doom. It was on a hot seat because Haman was there to destroy her race, her family, and she knows that she was going to face the death with the king. But she was determined. She discovered who she had, the purpose why she was in the palace. So discover yourself. Know who you are meant to be. Know your dreams. Know your aspirations. Stand up for it. Try to pursue it. Seek help. Trust me, help will rise. I have seen a lady in the US, a foreigner that went to the US. She was stranded because a guy dumped the husband that she carried to the that she was the what is it now? She was the applicant, and the husband was the dependent. They all went abroad. They all went abroad. The guy got there, abandoned her with 2 children. But she sought help. And it's also a lady that helped her. So it's not all about a man. She didn't hit the streets looking for help where there is no help. So women can support women. I know it is not easy, but it is doable. Gap recognition. Recognize, identify the gap that is missing. The gap you need to fill. If you recognize that gap, then that is the drive for your change, because you want to make that change. You want to make that gap. You want to bridge the gap. So if you have recognition of, if you recognize that gap, then it will drive your change. It will motivate you. You will move. That pressing need, what is that thing? If it is financial need, you don't have, you cannot even boast of your own money. The man had dumped you on one island where you cannot even see anybody to talk to. And because you don't have money, you cannot move out. Open up. That pressing need will let you know what to do. You vacate the place, go and look for your family. Speak to your family. Look for help. I know some people can be lonely as well. They might not have family. I know. But trust me, help exists somewhere. DWS have been fantastic. They got a property for the woman. They got a house for her. There are still generous givers. It might not be much. They empower you. She's working now. She's doing business now. She's been empowered. She's doing her own trade. And her children are going to school. Open up. Speak out. That pressing need, you have to speak about it. What are those new desires you have? What are those things you want to do? The moment you identify that, I can no longer be here. This poverty don't do. This hardship don't do. That new desire that you want, communicate it to somebody and be intentional about it. Be intentional. Be intentional about your change. Don't be too familiar with your pain. It's a toxic relationship. It's everything. Don't be too familiar. Be intentional. Be resolute. Be resolute with your change. Be intentional. If you are intentional, you want to achieve it, you will get there. Because where there is will, there is a way. And if you look at all I have listed, if you have all those things and you still lack the willpower to do it, sorry, you go nowhere. There's something we call willpower. You need to stand up. You need that power. Yes, I discovered myself. Yes, I have identified a gap. And there's a pressing need. I have new ambitions. I want to go. The lady wanted to go abroad. She's intentional. She's pushing. She's saying it. She's asking questions. But then stand up. If you don't have the willpower, sorry, it will not work. You need a willpower to that willpower will drive your change. Go and ask the prodigal son. He had everything at home, but then he was there sitting with a pig. Even the food they will not give him, and he was thinking in his mind, if it is at home now, this thing will not. In fact, the servants will come and serve me. If it is at home now, my dad will say, come and serve me breakfast in bed. I will have the rice. It's going to be a buffet. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. If he did not get up, he will die of hunger in that place. But the willpower, the prodigal said, I will arise. I will arise and go to my father that I have offended. I will arise and go back home into the palace where I came from. So please, you need the willpower to arise, the willpower to fulfill your dreams, to fulfill your ambition. And without willpower, you will get to where you need to get to. It might take time, it might take years, but slow and steady wins the race. And trust me, help will arise. Help will arise. But the only change, if you can change your mind, you will change your life. If you can change your mind, you will change your life. So arise. Have that willpower. Women support women. Seek help from other women. Seek help from women's group. Even though I'm abroad, my line is a hotline. Text me. I'm always available. We give you the advice. I may not put money in your hands, but even if it's a moral support, even if it's the encouragement, you will get it. And you can never tell. Yeah, thank you, Anna. Sisterhood. Women to women. Don't expect that somebody will come and give you the money, because if they give you the money, it means they are giving you fish to eat. They are not teaching you how to fish. But they can channel you. There are so many family groups. There are so many organizations. The sincere ones, they will signpost you to where you can get help. And I can tell you, before you know it, you realize your dreams. And you are safe from that bias. You are safe from that limitations. You are safe from those boundaries that has held you bound for years. On that note, I tell you, I drop this quote for you again. If you can change your mind, you will change your life. I don't want to say I've said enough, because I know when I start, I'm so very passionate about this. But we can do greater exploits, women. We can. Girls power, women power, we can do exploits. On this note, thank you so very much. Thanks for listening. I hope I have not bored you, but I have passed some messages to you. Have a pleasant afternoon. Thank you so very much. Come up with your questions if you have any. Contributions, we are all here.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, man. That was super powerful. That was powerful, and that was great. Thank you so much. That was thrilling. That was great. That was great. Thank you. Thank you for your words of advice. Thank you for being a voice to every young girl, to every woman, all the women here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. If you want to change the situation, the stereotype, you need to be objective about your mindset. You need not to limit yourself. That is what she's giving us today. Thank you so much. For you to learn, unlearn, and relearn, you need that change. That change will not just come. It will not just come by us sitting down. We have to do something about it. Thank you. And champions keep playing until they get it right. We won't just keep sitting down that it's not working right now, or things are not looking like the way we want it. No, we keep pushing, we keep advocating, we keep saying it that yes, this is what we really want. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. God bless you. We can drop our questions in the chat box. We can drop our questions in the chat box. If you have any question, please let's drop our questions in the chat box. I think we are also allowed to ask our question live. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to ask a question, you can as well raise up your hand. If you have any question, you can raise up your hand, then we'll give you the floor.
In the meantime, let's take our post test while people want to. It is important. Thank you, moderator, and thank you, Mrs. Lola Abrahams, for the last presentation. Thank you very much. So I just want to share a post test, just to, as we bring this session to a conclusion. So let us do the same thing we did the last time for the pre-test, so we can see if our knowledge has improved based on this presentation, because that is our last presentation for the day. So while we are typing our questions or while we're thinking about it, let's quickly do this.
Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen. Hey, Queen. Sister. Girl, you've done it again. You are constantly raising the bar for all of us and doing so flawlessly. You do know that you're that girl, right? I hope that when you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, see how divine you are. Know that so many people want what you got. You have dreams to fulfill and promises to yourself that you must keep. I know at times you feel underappreciated and misvalued. Trust me, we've all been there. So it's necessary that you can count on yourself. Now, don't go seeking perfection. Extend yourself a little grace. Don't be afraid to celebrate the little wins as much as big ones. You, Miss Thing, are courageous. You are dynamic. You are principled. So baby girl, just remember, respect is a minimum. There's a sweet justice in knowing that the path you are on was designed for you and you alone. Doing life by yourself never goes out of style. Everything about you is majestic and a force to be reckoned with. Trust me, people are paying attention. You're special and worthy of praise. Don't shy away from it. And you don't have to get your groove back because guess what? You never lost it. It's also important to rest. Make sure your hustle doesn't get in the way of your...
All right, thank you. I think we are done. Yes, I was just waiting to see if people were still responding. So 33 have responded out of 48. So let's just see the results. And then we can, I just wanted the video to play in the background just because I'm not talking. So I will play the video later for those of us that joined late so we can see that. Okay, so do you believe, look at the first question, will you advocate for gender equality? So we have 87% said yes, and 1% said no. Okay, that's impressive, that's good. So a lot said, and while others didn't answer. So are you ready to break your boundaries? Yes, have it. So out of the 33 people that answered, only one person said no. So awesome, that means we have achieved a lot. Okay, only one person said no out of the 33 respondents. Great. Do you believe women should have equal rights with men? 31 said no, 31 said yes, sorry, 1 said no, and 1 said not sure. Do you think the fight for gender equality is a good fight? Out of 33 respondents, 31 said yes, 1 said no, it's not a good fight, and 1 said they are not sure. So this is fine. Yes, majority, kind of said something positive as per the purpose of International Women's Day and gender equality fight. So that is good. And this also is very good that we have not been able to work on. Women here still have their individuality and their own decision. Yes, and so that is very good. It's very good that we have one person that still said no, they're not going to advocate for gender equality and they will not fight for their rights. Perfect. This is good. So this has convinced me that, our disclaimer is working. We are not giving you personal advice. It's just your discretion and you still have your individuality. And that is what gender equality is about. Nobody, whether a man or a woman, should tell you what to do. Whatever you hear, it is your decision. So thank you very much for that. So do we have any question, moderator?
Yes, there's something in the chat box. Tammy saying she's wondering if anyone has concern about women having equal rights, if they would like to share their concerns, and no problem if they don't want to discuss it.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's a good one. Yes, because they may have a concern they want to share. So does anybody want to, if you want to share something that you don't want to type but you want to talk, please raise your hand so I can unmute you. If not, we...
Sorry, I saw a question sent in by Beams that she asked if we are all women on this conference. Yes, we are all women. When we started, we had a man, just a man, and he had left. But that's all. That is the man is a staff, the operations manager for UMen. So he's in charge of all those our logistics and technicalities. But I'm sure the moment he saw that we are stable, he's taken to his sleep. So we are all ladies, Beams. All right.
Okay. That's boots paid to go, responsibility to go. Okay, so yeah, I don't see any question and I don't see any raise.
I had some people raised their hand before earlier.
Okay.
Some people raised their hand before earlier. If you raised your hand, please can you raise your hand again? If you have any questions,
okay, well,
can we raise our
while
hand?
we're waiting to see if there will be a raise of hand, I will play the video again, and then by the time we get back, if there is no raise of hand, I'm sure we can conclude and leave. Thank you all for waiting this long. It was intended to be 2.5 hours, so we are very much within time. Okay, so just a moment. I have to get all strides back. Okay, so I can share.
Sister! Girl, you've done it again. You are constantly raising the bar for all of us and doing so flawlessly. You do know that you're that girl, right?
I hope that when you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror, you see how divine you are.
Know that so many people want what you got. You have dreams to fulfill and promises to yourself that you must keep. I know at times you feel underappreciated and misvalued. Trust me, we've all been there. So it's necessary that you can count on yourself.
Now, don't go seeking perfection.
Extend yourself a little grace. Don't be afraid to celebrate the little wins as much as the big ones. You, Miss Thang, are courageous. You are dynamic. You are principled. So, baby girl, just remember, respect is the enemy. There has to be justice in knowing that the path you are on was designed for you and you alone. Doing right by yourself never goes out of style.
Everything about you is majestic and a force to be reckoned with.
Trust me, people are paying attention. You're special and worthy of praise. Don't shy away from it.
And you don't have to get your groove back because guess what? You never lost it.
It's also important to rest. Make sure your hustle doesn't get in the way of your health. Girl, take care of yourself. And the next time you want to second guess yourself, don't do it. So pause for a second right now and relax, relate, release.
You are needed. You are appreciated.
Girl, you make me so proud. And I love you. Remember, you are 100% that queen. Oh, yes.
It's a good thing to even say that you want somebody to stay.
Okay. That's beautiful for me.
Okay, I think Mrs. Abimbola is raising up her hand. Please, over to you, ma. Over to you, ma. Okay.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Queens. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can.
Okay. Yeah, I want to say a very big thank you for the holding opportunity. I want to thank the organizers. I want to thank women, and I want to thank them renewed me. It's been an amazing session. I just want to share something very briefly before we close. I am aware that a lot of women are scared. Oh my God, we are scared. Even to change, we are scared. The fear of the unknown and probably some other fears that I wouldn't be able to identify. And I think I am old enough, or I was old enough, to tell you what my mother went through, like Lola mentioned briefly. A mother of 8, when she was going to walk out of the marriage, there were 7 children and she was pregnant with the last child. And I was by her side. I was with her when she left. Then something happened about 2 weeks ago. I contacted, I got in touch with a friend of mine who we were in the secondary school together over 30 years ago. And we connected again on Facebook and we were talking, and he was surprised when I was sharing what I was going through with what I went through then with him. And then he was surprised and he asked me a very germane question that actually I never actually thought of before now. But I had the answers because I knew, of course, what would have happened. He asked me, do you think that if your mom didn't take you guys out, if she didn't walk out of the marriage, well, I would say walk out, they didn't fight, there was no...
She just felt her children's lives were being threatened. And she said, okay, well, here I'm my husband, let's go out of here. Okay. And the man didn't want to go, but she said, okay, I wouldn't risk my children's lives. I would go. So he
we can't hear you well.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, let's go. Sister Esther, let's go. Sister, no. See you. Okay. Good night, sir.
Adu, please mute your mic.
What's the name of that person?
Adu Fadia.
All right, I'm going to remove her. So please, Mrs. Abimbola, your phone was glitchy at some point. Your mic was glitchy. So please, let's hear your story from...
Okay.
Yeah.
From
when your mom was leaving, something like that.
Okay,
your
okay,
friend
yeah.
was talking was asking you the question.
Yeah, my mom was, when she was going to leave, I was old enough to know that she was living with 7 children, 6 girls and a boy, and with a pregnancy. Okay? And she left. Then I recall my discussion with this young man who was my junior in the secondary school over 30 years ago. And the guy asked me, do you think that your life would have turned out differently if your mom didn't leave, if you guys had stayed with your dad? And then I asked myself, if she had left us with him, if we were together, I am 100% certain that I wouldn't have been able to achieve 1/100 of what I have in my life today. And that is the truth. Because my mom was a bold one, of blessed memory, 3 years this month that she went to be with the Lord, a bold woman who walked out with 7 children and about 3 months pregnancy to say, no, my kids' lives are at stake here and my life is at stake here. I do not have to endure marriage. It is meant to be enjoyed. And she left, carrying these children with her into a room apartment. She had a job, into a room apartment. She had a job that was paying her about 100 and something naira per month. She left. And all her kids today, to the glory of God, are doing super well. So the problem with we women, I still sometimes don't understand the fear of what? Because even while you're in the man's house, that is the fear of what happens next. What will happen. So when you discover that your life is at stake, not just your life, your children's lives are at stake. So when you say if my mother had stayed that, okay, I don't want my children to suffer, believe you me, we would have suffered. Yeah. So when women come out to say, I don't want my children, I don't want my children to suffer, that's why I am staying. Let me tell you today, you're staying not because of those children. You're staying for your selfish interest. Yeah. Because though the stories might be different, but my mom left an abusive marriage because she was totally responsible for the upkeep and everything of the family. She left, and her kids' life are better today, even after she had left, after she's gone. So you're there, things are not working very well, and you're saying you're staying because of these children. You are in a marriage, your children are experiencing and seeing negative things happen to you, your husband abusing you, you have a male child who is learning how to abuse a woman and to disrespect a woman, and you are here with a girl child who is also there, seeing how a woman is being dehumanized, how a woman is being stripped of her dignity, and you're saying you're staying to help the children. Dear ladies, dear queens, you deserve better than you're getting. If you don't get out of there, you will never know what would happen. You will remain on that same spot. And like Lola said, you need to change your mindset. I was so happy when Tammy gave her life story, her experience as a teenage mom, got married, bettered her life, changed her mindset, and she put behind all her pains and looked ahead of the future, a better one. And that's why she can be here today to tell her stories. You see, the problem is when you tell women, please do this, please do that, they will look at you, you are in your husband's house, and you are telling me to leave. And the situations are different, ladies. You are a queen. If today, and I keep saying it, and I keep ringing it into my husband's ears, if today you change, God knows I pack my small gongoro, I pack my small load, and I am out because I had experienced firsthand, may not be directly, what my mother went through. So have an idea of what an abusive marriage can be and how it can impact on children. I, in my life, never prayed to be married. When I saw how my father treated my mom, I made up my mind that never will I have anything to do with a man. I was just going to adopt a child and live a life. I never knew there could be, there are men out there who will take care of their children, who will love their wives genuinely. But God changed my mindset entirely. If my mom didn't leave that marriage, believe you me, I probably would have been messed up totally. And I wouldn't be here today. So women, you are a queen. When you see opportunities like this, please take it. Speak up. You're not the only one going through what you're going through. We're all going through different things in our different corners. So when you speak out, people learn from you and they make their corrections. And when you change yourself, it will amaze you that position you're in, it is because of your mindset, the way you are. when you change, a lot of things will change alongside. And it will amaze you also to see that when you change yourself, your marriage might change. Thank you so much, Queens. Thank you once again, you men. Thank you so much again, Renewed Me, for this golden opportunity. God bless you.
Thank you for that. I did want to support you and also say your mother clearly created the next generation of strong women. And do you know, when I left my abusive husband, which was very scary, we were very poor. I had to clean houses. I was scared every day, but I kept going. My children witnessed that struggle, and my children are daughters. My daughters are very strong, and they remember that, and it's made them strong women. So when we do this, we build generations of strong women in this world, and that is how we can create change for women long term as well. When we decide to make that change and build that better life. I remember thinking, having that moment in bed, going to sleep, thinking about, if I don't get out of this abusive marriage, my children will be abused forever, because it's a cycle. They'll be abused by their husbands. They'll be abused by their husbands. And I just remember, I was very aware that if I didn't stop and break that cycle, it would go forever, because my ex-husband was abused in his family. It's a cycle that continues generations. Or you can change that story, and for generations, you can have strong women instead. And when you demonstrate that and show that, and it's hard, your daughters learn from that, and every generation is strong then. But thank you for sharing that. That's a beautiful example. What a strong, awesome daughter.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Beams. Honestly, what I want women to note in what they have said is that abusive relationship. So they're not saying, okay, because your husband doesn't have money, because it's not romantic, because it's not. They're talking about abuse, domestic violence, things that can kill you. And let me say this quickly too. I forgot to say during my speech that gender equality, if you want to know whether it is right or it is not, is it harmful practices? Is it healthy? That is one thing you should know. What you are going through right now, maybe emotionally, physically, or otherwise, does it create harm to your physical health, psychological health, emotional health, or to your children? Once it has an harm in it, any form of harm, hurt, pain, not the hardship of economic hardship that, there's no money to eat food. That's not what we are saying. Violence, abuse means that it causes hurt, pain, grief, things like that. So that's how you know if you are in an abusive relationship or a violent one or a toxic one. Yes, I think Ola has something to say.
Yeah.
Anna. Okay. Anna has something.
Two people raising up their hands. Anna,
two people now that we are trying to close. Okay.
Yes, Anna and
let them stay. Anna is Anna is also there. Let Anna speak first, and then we have Anne.
All right, Anna.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Thank you so much for putting up such a program. Lola, thank you. Very insightful, impactful, and empowering. I just wanted to kind of add to what was said earlier by one of the sisters who said women, it's kind of to do with selfishness for a woman to live. And what I want to highlight is that there are layers. Many women don't want to live in an abusive situation. However, what the fear does, it creates layers for them, and it becomes psychological. So sometimes they struggle to live. And when we look at support, we need to be very consistent in our support. We need to be patient with these women, because some of them is deeply rooted. Some of it is the genetical. They were raised in abusive homes, and they've maybe even the circle. I think Lola touched on religious circles where it's acceptable. So such a woman is so entrenched in abuse, she no longer knows what's right from wrong. And to look at her as being selfish, I feel it's unfair, and we have to really be patient, understanding, but also consistent with such women. Because if for example, a woman has been in an abusive relationship for 10 years, it's likely it's going to take her a long time to break that cycle. So whoever is supporting has to be committed to be in that woman's life for a longer period to support her to break that cycle. Because again, we know that a lot of the issues of trust, women will not trust anybody. I may come, oh, Anna, I want to support you, but am I ready to give the time emotionally, physically to her and her children? You know, and I think that's where a lot of organizations, especially in the faith-based, have kind of lost it because they are not consistent. They want you to do other things and to focus on God. God will fix it, but actually the issue is real, and this woman needs a one-to-one. Even psychologists may not be able to break that cycle. They just need somebody to baby them, to carry them until they're able to jump over. And even when you jump over, the psycho research shows when women have left abusive relationship, the trauma still remains for years on. You know, even if they've escaped it, it's not happening physically, but emotionally, it has ruined them. It has ruined the children. They have flashbacks and they struggle to move on. Thank you. I just wanted to share that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. PTSD, that's true. That's the effect of violence. You continue to suffer the trauma, even many years, you continue to relive it.
So
yes, and
Chijindu. And unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now? Good evening, all. Good evening, ladies. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Anne. I'm so much happy that I'm among the ladies that's in this conference meeting. You know, I'm one of those that's been in abusive home. And thank God today that God delivered me, because really, I would have been a dead person by now. I got married since 2012. From my first issue to the last one was ups and down, beating, starving, and a lot more, you know, abusive in the sense of, you know, allowing a lot of things to come into my house and go freely, and they can insult me in my home. I got a special need. I have a special child. That is my first baby girl. Because of what it beats me at the 9th month. So the beating got the child affected. So, but today I'm very happy that I met Mommy Beans in DWS, that she rescued me and my 4 kids. I'm very happy that we are no more in that home. That because their purpose is to kill me and, you know, to make my children miserable. But since we left the home, since 2021, 21st of August till date, the man never asked of us, neither the mother. I heard that the mother was in the home saying that it will rain, it can't rain more than 1 year, everything will stop, that they don't want to marry. But had it been, I did not make a move to leave the home, to leave that man, to say that, no, because not even the DWS that said I should come out. I came out. Why? Because the man, anytime that we went for night vigil, either he locked us out of the house or he staffed children for one week. But God made me to come out, and we stayed in church for some days before we got help from DWS. Is a change. I saw that what I'm seeing there is not life. It's going to put me in 6 feet. So the best thing I did is for me to leave the home and run for my dear life. And I took my children alongside with me. And thank God today, even if we didn't even have heaven on earth, we are picking from the pieces. And I know that God is going to do wonders. And Mommy Beams is a wonderful woman. She has been there for us. She had in terms of everything. I just say that everyone that needed change should come out. That change should come out by him or herself. Nobody can tell you, do this or do that, because even if they say you should do it and you did it, you will still go back and start lamenting that it's because of this person said I should do this. But when you say that I want to do this and you did it, even if there is some difficulties on your front, you will keep thanking God, because God knows that is going to that time will come and that time must go, because he must make a way where there seems to be no way. So I just thank God that I saw that place is not meant for me. That man is not my husband. That in fact, I never enjoyed marriage. That I don't need to be there. If I say that my children, I will die there and the children will still live. So the best thing I did is I picked up my outfit clothes, and thank God today, my children are not even saying they don't have clothes to wear. They have enough to wear. I thank God that I just decide by myself to live.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And please, for the sake of our time, because we don't want to keep people waiting, because I've seen someone else again, Oluwafunmilayo Adeleke wants to say a comment. We'll give you 2 minutes, Oluwafunmilayo. We hope you can really go straight to the point, but that is the testimony of many. Sorry? That's the testimony. A lot of people can testify to what Anne has just said. A lot of women here can testify to it. And I will just speak one thing she said. She kept mentioning God. And she said God did not want her in that marriage. Okay, so I think that is a place to pick it up. Please talk to God by yourself. I know we are so full of faith. We are believers. Yes, we want to honor God. But don't just think that because you are in a marriage, that means you are married to the right person. There could have been a mistake on the way while you were making the choice. But whatever, God can always change situations in your favor. He doesn't want you in an abusive marriage or in an abusive relationship. Violence is not part of God's will. So go and find out. And like she said, when you get that conviction, you will never look back and say any regrets, no matter what happens. So go get your word for yourself. You don't need to listen to what I say or what anybody says. Go and get it. If you are so religious, then go and pray to God and let God speak to you. You don't need a prophet to speak to you. Thank you. Next person, please.
Yeah. Good evening from Nigeria. Good afternoon or evening from you.
Thank you.
I'm so much stressed, and honestly, I don't want to listen. At the end of all this, Sammy said, Mrs. has been brought up, Mrs. Ola most especially. Oh my God. Thank you so much, all. Thank you. Now, I'm a member of the group, and I have taken my case, and it has been discussed. But some people were asking me, am I really sure I want to leave my marriage? And I may thought of this year, my marriage is of mine. And
we cannot hear you well.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, it's better now. I think it's your speaker or something.
I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Thank you.
I'm so grateful for this thing and for the DSW. Now, I'm in a marriage of by May it's going to clock 9, and I cannot say that for once I enjoy happiness. And I know quite a lot of people ask me, am I ready to leave the marriage? Am I ready to leave the marriage? And the truth of the matter is, this person that I'm talking about has it on both sides. but the bad side.
We cannot. Okay, good side.
All right. So the bad side actually.
Can you hear me
Yes.
now?
Yes.
All right. The bad side is more than the good side. Now, I don't want to go into the details, but I have suffered from both physical abuse and emotional abuse. And for years, it has even, I usually see myself as a nobody because I've always had the word you are nobody. So that word stick to me, it stick to my mind, it stick to my brain that I'm nobody. Not until 3 years ago that I got someone and I got a job and I was coming out of depression gradually. Now, at the age of 26, I had my first high blood pressure that I gave birth through preeclampsia that nearly claimed my life and that of my boy's life. But to God be the glory, I was rescued because I was in the best hospital in the US, which he paid for. So, like I said, he has his own good side, but the bad side are much. Now, he loves his job more than me and the children. So, but over the years, he has been claiming that he wants me to relocate with the children. I have 2 children for him. He wants us to relocate. But now, December, we talk. Then February, he came and then we talk and was like, okay, he's taking some steps and he wants us to relocate. Now, I have been thinking, because it's a moment I've been waiting for to go back, to travel back. But the truth of the matter is, if I go, there's tendency of me calling it and say, I'm divorcing you. You understand? But I do not, because I don't want to believe on the fact that I cannot make it on my own. No, there's something I know I can make it on my own because now I have a job. I'm into hairdressing and I'm selling some things at my apartment that I got for myself. I'm not doing well, but I am doing fine. Now, should I take his offer? And when I get there, I jump off. Or should I call him now, make him understand that, guy, I still love you, but you are not one, you don't love me like you're supposed. Because I asked him a question, do you love me? And then he said, if he doesn't love me, will he still be in this marriage? I said, but you are not showing it. Number one, there's no relationship, there's no communication, there is nothing. The children, you only pay for school fees even when I reminded you continuously, like a constant reminder. The house allowance, you stop for a long period of time. So at the time I stopped asking for house allowance, I was sorting out income on my own, but I ran into debt. But then for the debt aspect, I am getting myself out of it little by little. Now my question is, if I wait for him to process this, if I get there, because I am not loving him like I used to. And from his own side, he didn't love us. The kind of love he felt he had for me and the children is not the kind as is expected. Now, when Mrs. Ola was talking about loving a woman and the woman will respect him in return, she's 100% right. In fact, I practically kiss his nails. But I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be a woman that is subjected to a man because of what I'm getting from it. I want to be my own. I want to stand up.
Thank you. I think we already got your question, okay, so that we can have enough time for whoever wants to respond, okay. But sorry, I have to cut you short. This is an online, and I know that data will soon go off. So, but please, your question can further be taken directly one-on-one because it's a personal question. But I really appreciate the fact that you shared it publicly, so we can follow up with you, in terms of and walk you through it. But I would appreciate, for the benefit of others here, one or two of our speakers or whoever wants to just respond quickly. The ladies that have shared, Beams, Tammy, Lola, please kindly respond to this wonderful lady. She has a question, and the question is, should she take the husband up on his offer to travel abroad And then when she gets there, she should communicate her feelings, or she should just say it now and just stay away, because she's not happy with the way the marriage is going. The man thinks he loves her, but she's not happy with that level of, the display of the love. So please, she's asking a question. Can you unmute?
Yeah, I think that's very challenging. Whenever you decide, it's the right time to end a marriage, I think it's acceptable. Nobody can say it's the right time for if you start everything when you're ready to move on, whether you moved abroad, whether you stay at home. It is important, I think, to understand the implications. If there are children involved, you have the whole family together wherever somebody is. Maybe you want to go abroad or so it's important to think about the implications possibly on the children's citizenship might remain, and to do some research into that and stuff like that. And then the other thing, what are your resources when you're starting somewhere? Are there more opportunities? There's a lot to think about. So you do need to prepare for your future, and if your future happens to be moving abroad soon, but you're not quite ready to divorce, I think it's okay to divorce when you're ready. Even if you started up in a new country away. It's challenging.
Thank you, Tammy. Yes, can you unmute yourself? You want to talk? You want to respond? Do you want to respond? Lola, do you want to respond?
Yeah, thank you so very much for me. That's a very good one, and I salute your courage for sharing your story on this platform. There are so many, from what you've said, you sound so convinced that you're not in the right place. You sound so certain of what you want, and you can help yourself. You've discovered yourself from what we have just listed. And one of the things I find so worry about with ladies is when they talk about love, love, love. You're still saying, okay, I love him, but he doesn't love you that much. With what you said, you've been through physical and emotional abuse. It's really, really said awful things to you. In fact, for me, that one is enough to even make the love die. It doesn't take time. It does not take time. Like we all know, our strengths are different. Beam said something that as she was growing up through that relationship, I mean, through her parents, from that family situation where she grew up from, that she had proposed in her mind that in fact she's not going to get married. And I think, Beams, there is one connection that we both have. That was me as a young lady. When I saw what my mother go through, it doesn't worth it because I don't want any man to treat me that way. So love is standing outside the door. So I wasn't ready. But in God's own divine way, He made me to be married today. Having said that, for me, with all you've said, you're still thinking you still love. One of the things is, for me personally, and with what the situation that surrounds you and in Nigeria where you live, your children are born in the US, so that's a good opportunity for your children to return to their country of birth. That's a good one, and which you will not just take the children. I mean, the children will not just go and you not be part of your children's life. So on one side, I would say because your children were born in the States, it will be a good opportunity for you to be with your children since they are going back because they belong there. You are married to him, is your husband. So this is a legal way for you to be a resident in the US back, going under him as a dependent. And one of the things that I will say to you is United States is also a country that will possibly be a good support system for you in the sense of you're living in a Western world that supports the women and that kicks against issue of violence and abuse. So that will or might reduce your abuse because you have a system that works. Let me use that word. You will have a system that works if any man is actually going to still violate and abuse you. So you can have a backup system. And then another thing is, do you have any relative, anybody familiar, peradventure? Even if truly you want to use him as a stepping stone to get to where you want to go, because your children were born there, you've been there, and you desire to go back there based on what he said. Because you desire it, that's a free ticket. It must just be the ladder for you. We're talking about a girl yesterday, a lady yesterday, from one of the African countries, not Nigeria. The guy went all the way to marry the girl, and married the girl, and brought her to the US, and then just left the girl. No marriage, nothing. And he said the girl, no relationship, not consummated. A young girl in her 20s, and ready to send the girl back to the African country, until a friend of the girl told the girl to come to Canada instead of going back to Africa. And this same guy carried money from his pocket to fund the girl to go to Canada. I just don't want to have anything to do. And we're like, oh, this girl, he's like, you're fortunate. This guy is just a ladder. It's just the roots for you to get into US, because he wasn't ready to have anything to do with her again. So in the same vein, to me, this guy might be a person, a ladder for you to regain yourself, get the support you need. And if by the time you get there, if he's not still doing what you think he's going to, like he said, he has his good side, although his downside is more than his good side. You weigh your options for the fact that you are back there, there is a support system. If you have family and friends that can serve as a backup. But the truth is, if he's somewhere in this UK, if the guy misbehaves, the cops are just behind him. And you don't just need to be afraid. They will say, hey, you came, you sent him to bars. If he does not want to be sent to bars, he should put his hands and his mouth locked and behave himself. But what matters is, you have entered, you have jackpot, like Nigerians will say, and your children are secured. And then you continue to work hard the way you've been working at. That's what I can.
Thank you.
But if
Thank you very much.
If you want to say more, I'm very much available. Beams can give you the contact, and we can talk more. I'm 24 hours available. My number is a hotline. Any day, anytime, I'm available for the cause of women. Thank you very much.
And I was just going to add that an abused wife and mother that I spoke to recently told me she had to save money for a couple of years and give it to a girlfriend of hers, and she helped money for a couple of years. So she slowly worked and put money aside, and actually then she slowly bought furniture and kept it at her girlfriend's house, so that when she was finally ready to leave her husband, that she had everything ready to go. So she was able to leave out, have furniture, have a little bit of money in the bank. So I think there's nothing wrong with making a plan. And if that plan turns out that you end up living abroad, come to the States while you're in the process, I think that's okay. Because the path to leave an abusive relationship can be long. It's kind of a journey. So because of that, I think whenever you do it is acceptable. If you do it in the country you're in now, or when you move or from state to state, I think all of that is okay. It takes a while to get that stuff together.
I would like.
Hello, wait. There is somebody, but she we will need just to accommodate that lady. Her name is Nini. She does not know how to go about it. I know we've overshot our time, but please, this is a cause of a woman that we really need to listen to. Not everybody will be able to. So there is Zini that is desperate to say something. Zini, we give you a minute or two. Please, Zini, identify yourself on mute. And we quickly want to hear you. Please, quickly, Zini.
Good day, everyone. I'm just so delighted to be among the beautiful and courageous women, and it's an honor. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I listened to everyone and heard everything, but I just want to say something. I'm joined a group, these digital women, and to the glory of God, I came out of serious depression because I was only thinking of taking my life. I was only thinking of what next to do. Is it not just to die? What am I doing on this earth? I lost my self-esteem. My husband was totally something else. He shot the story is too much. The story is too much. No care for his children. He was just only about himself. And I was just looking at myself, where should I start from? Only the little earning from the teaching work I was doing. It was not fetching anything at all. I was devastated. But I decided one day to leave the house. I took my children back home. I told them I want to travel and get my certificate. I had to leave. I went back home. When I got to my parents' house, I was like, where again? What am I going to do here? I don't have any solid job. I can't take care of these children. I waited, mind that, okay, no problem, come back. She had no way of going further and all that.
We can't hear you.
Should leave. And everybody that is passing some challenges from one corner to another, you can only stand up for yourself. You can only believe that you will do it, no matter what. I landed in neuropsychiatric hospital Yaba here in Lagos because it was too much. I was being taken care of by a doctor, and he was like, why did you pass through all these things? Up till now, he keeps saying that I see the potential in you because you never gave up. Even when the spirit was telling you to give up, to leave the children. I have 3 children, a boy and 2 girls. But right now, I have a good business running that I can save, and that he can't even talk to me anyhow. I came back to the home. I came back to the house because I couldn't take care of the children with my parents. I had to come back again. I was just saying, anyhow it can come out, I'll just take it if it's my life, no problem. As long as the children, he's taking care of his children. That was just what was going through my mind. But everything turned around because I decided to take a step that I don't know whether it's going to be positive or not. And to the glory of God, it came out positive. I got a job that they are paying me well. I got a business that is running very, very well. And he didn't have mouth again to say, and he can't even talk again because he knows that I am not asking for money. I'm not requesting for anything. I'm financially standard now. I'm on my own. Any day he decides to say go, I'll say bye because I'm not really disturbed again. So the reason why I'm talking is that it's a long story, but I just want to question yourself that I really want we women to believe that we can do it without them. You can work hard without him being there to say, you must do this, you must do that. If you don't do it, I'll do it. You are foolish, you are stupid, you lost this, all those kind of abusive words that will make you now, have low self-esteem, that you can't even see yourself again. You can't even believe in yourself again. So I just want to encourage. I listened to Anne Chijindo and I'm like, God should see her through because she should know that she is not alone. She can do things better than the
Thank
way.
you very much, Zini.
Better than what coming out anyhow that is coming out.
Thank you very much, Zini, for your contribution. Thank you. We appreciate you putting this also in context for us. So for so many women, you've seen life witnesses. People have given their own testimonials. You've known, you've seen, you've heard. And like I said in my presentation, ask yourself, could all these things they are saying, could it be true? If you think it is true and you can tick your boxes, then it's high time for you to take action. But one of the things that can really also help you is your financial stability.
Yes.
Somebody had said that the only thing which nobody can change is you, the person in question. How financial viable are you? However, some people might not be financially viable. Like Anne gave a story. She said she does not even have anything. So many people do not have anything. I know that can be the fears of so many. But the willpower, the strength, the boldness, the courage to face it. If you have that, it might be tough. It will be tough. Not that it might be tough. It will be tough. But I know you will get there. So thank you so very much, Zini. Thank you for every lady that have shared their own true life experiences. We so much appreciate you. You Men Renewed Me is here for you. Renewed Me is a branch of Human that deals with women issues like this, emotional, psychological, sexual, especially as it relates to faith, we are always available for the women. We are a self-funded organization. We put it and we seek support where it's available. So we are passionate about women. We want to see women thrive. So come out, speak. We are always available. And we know that you will get there. Let somebody mentor you. Seek credible advisors and counselors. Get information for where it is viable, and you will not regret you take that action. You've heard from people. Go to our website, umen.org. Go to our social media handles. We have the Instagram, we have the Facebook, YouTube channel. We have all those things. Check out on them. You can contact us any day, anytime, and you will not regret you do this. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for waiting till the end of this conference, and that just shows that we all enjoyed it. As at now, which is just almost about 3 hours into the conference that we planned to be 2.5 hours, and we still have 30 participants. This is impressive. This is great. So it tells us that we all did well. Let's unmute and clap for ourselves. Thank you to our speakers. Thank you to our moderator. Thank you to PWS. Thank you, everyone, on behalf of Young Mothers Empowerment Network, on behalf of DWS. Thank you, DWS.
Thank you.
We appreciate your presence.
Thank you, Atami. Thank you,
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
And please, thank you, please. It is important that you please follow us on our pages and please like and share so that we can increase our visibility and other women can see that Young Mothers Empowerment Network is actually existing. Okay, so please, we are asking you to please go to search us on Facebook and Instagram. It's just at Project Human. Even Twitter is at Project Human. Kindly follow us, like us, share us. And this video also was live streamed on YouTube as we were doing it. Please share the video. You'll see it on our page on YouTube, which is at Young Mothers Empowerment. But we will share it in the WhatsApp group, DWS. We'll share it, and then so that you can reshare to other women. Please talk to someone about your needs, about your problems, and then you will receive help. Most importantly, pray to God to give you a solution. Yes, last person.
Sorry, I just remembered this. I know one of the expectations. Some people are still interested in pursuing a career abroad. We did take that today. I just mentioned one of our.
Yeah, the video is available on our YouTube. The conference we did last year is available.
Go to our website.
Please, person.
Do that here, but you can if you still want information on that. We have the video of the conference, and there are so many opportunities. I know Beam does that a lot. She shares it. As much as we have information, it can also be helped if you want that. I know somebody said that in the expectations. Sorry, somebody did not take that today. But Beam, please take it back. Anybody that still wants something like that, they can always get information. We have the video there, and
yes, our YouTube page is called Human. So please go there. You'll see all the videos. This one we are talking about is there, and this one of today is there, and other ones. Human. Search YouTube for that, and also subscribe so you can see all the other shows that we do, during the course of the year. So yes, that will be all for the International Women's Day conference organized by Young Mothers Empowerment Network. And we also, lastly, let me also use this opportunity to invite you to subscribe to our masterclass, which is called Renewed Me Masterclass, and that was one of the videos we showed. So Young Mothers Empowerment Network, Renewed Me project of Young Mothers Empowerment Network. It's a project that is under Young Mothers Empowerment Network. It's strictly a masterclass where we work with women through this whole process. It's not a one-day thing. It's not a one-week thing. It could be 3 months or 6 months, where you have a one-on-one counseling with our master coaches, and we walk you through this problem. So it's much more specific and targeted to your needs, because our needs are different individually, not just so. You have somebody to walk you through it. It's a paid program, it's a paid masterclass, but believe me, it is worth more than what you're going to be paying, and it's not some exorbitant price. But please, if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to us, okay? You can reach out to us, and we will, get it sorted out for you. But it is called Renewed Me Women Masterclass. It's to develop women and help them walk through whatever challenges they are going through until they arrive on a safe side. Okay, thank you very much. My name is Taiwo, again, the founder of Human. I love you. Thank you for supporting our project. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy your Saturday evening. Go and have fun. Take yourself out and, go treat yourself like a queen. Bye-bye. Love you.
Bye. Oh, Mama.
Bye.